Now we will see for the classification of amplifiers. Amplifiers are classified into different categories, and here we will see the list of amplifiers. They are classified in different criteria. Okay, so we have these criteria and these classifications, and we have these applications. Okay, so before to that we will see two of these things called as what? Small signal. And we will call something as what? Large signal. What is small signal? What is large signal? Small signal is weak signal. Okay, it's a weak input signal. So that is what? Small signal. And large signal means what? If I have some large input signal which is going to be amplified again. So that is called as what? Large input signal. Okay, for example, small signal is weak signal, isn't it? So I have a signal, so which is very weak signal. So if that is amplified to a large signal, fine. Okay, so then it will be amplified to a large signal or a strong signal. It will be made into. Okay, so yes. So now this is a small signal, or I can say it as what? Small signal amplification. I can call it as, okay, small signal amplification is this thing. What is that? I have a weak signal, and this weak signal will be converted into a strong signal, or small signal is converted into a large signal. Correct? Is that okay? Yes. So this is what is called small signal amplification. Fine. So we are giving a weak signal at the input, so it will give us what? A strong signal at the output. Fine. Yes. So for the same, like I have another amplifier circuit wherein I have given some large signal. Large signal in the sense I have given some signal of some moderate amplitude, or some large signal will be given. I am giving a strong signal only at the input, so that will give me still more strong signal, isn't it or not? Such amplification is what is called large signal amplification. So what I am doing is, so I am giving a signal of large strength at the input. Fine. So I am giving a signal of a large strength at the input, so that will give me output signal of again still more large amplitude. Is that okay? So such amplification is what is called large signal amplification. Fine or not? So small signal amplifiers and large signal amplifiers, we will call it as into two categories. Okay? Small signal amplifiers are the amplifiers which we have small signal at the input. Okay, so it means weak signal we are applying at the input. Such amplifiers called as what? Small signal amplifiers. If I have given small signal or weak signal at the input, such amplifiers are called as what? Small signal amplifiers. If I am giving some large signal at the input, I will get at the output still more large signal at the output. So such amplifiers are called as large signal amplifiers, because we are giving large signal at the input of the amplifier circuit. Fine. So in that way we have two of the categories: the small signal amplifier and large signal amplifiers. Okay. For small signal amplifiers, we will call small signal amplifiers as voltage amplifiers. Small signal amplifiers are called as what? Voltage amplifiers, because weak signal will be converted into high signals, a strong signal of larger voltage. So such amplifiers, usually small signal amplifiers are called as what? Voltage amplifiers. And when we have a large signal given at the input, so that will convert it into a very large signal. Large signal has been given at the input, so output will have a very large signal. Okay, so such amplifiers are called as what? Power amplifiers. Okay, such amplifiers are called as what? Large signal amplifiers are called as what? Power amplifiers. We call them as what? Power amplifiers. Why? Because we have given a larger signal at the input, and larger signal will be made into a very large signal. So it is something like power amplifiers. So they won't make weak signal into strong signal. They will make strong signal into very strong signal. Is that okay? So such amplifiers are called as what? Power amplifiers, and these are called as voltage amplifiers. Small signal amplifiers are called as what? Voltage amplifiers, and large signal amplifiers are called as what? Power amplifiers. Is that clear? Okay. Yes. Now we will see the classification. Classification you will see criteria depending on the input signal given. So that is what I have said now. Okay. So what kind of input signal you are giving? So that will divide the amplifiers into two categories. One is small signal amplifier. Another one is what? Large signal amplifiers. Application of small signal amplifier is what? Voltage amplification. For voltage amplifiers will be used. Okay. Large signal amplifiers are used in what? Power amplifiers. Okay. Yes. Then coming to nature of your output. What kind of output you are getting at the output at the output of circuit? What kind of output you are getting? In that criteria, we will classify the amplifiers again into two categories. One is what? Voltage amplifiers, and second one is what? Power amplifiers. If you are getting strong signal at the output, they are voltage amplifiers. If you are getting very strong signal at the output, they are power amplifiers. Correct or not? Okay. So again, there will be the voltage amplifier used for voltage amplification, and power amplifier used in what? Power amplifications. Will be using them. Okay. So coming to frequency. Okay. So frequencies are classified into many of the ranges. Okay. So frequency ranges will be there. There are many frequency band made. Okay. So we will be learning all these things in our future classes. Okay. So what are the frequency bands? Depending on what all frequency bands will have different signals which will be communicated. Okay. Wirelessly. Okay. So you might have you may be knowing about the radio, isn't it? Radio, different channels will be there. Okay, isn't it or not? So we have different radio broadcasting channels. They will be given different frequency bands. Isn't it or not? Okay, so such frequency bands are classified into different applications of communication are given different frequency bands. Is that okay? Such frequency bands are given with different names. Okay, so depending on the frequency range, so we have all this classification of your amplifiers. Okay, so AF, if you are giving audio frequency signals. Okay, if you are giving the signals of audio frequency range, so such are called as what? Audio equipments. In your audio equipments, we will be using such amplifiers. Okay, yes. So if you are giving audio frequency signal as the input, such amplifiers are called as what? Audio frequency amplifiers. Okay, so then for audio equipments, we will be using these amplifiers. Okay, and coming to IF means what? Intermediate frequency. Intermediate frequency. So we will be learning all these things. Okay, so what all will be the frequency ranges and all? We will be learning all these things in future classes. Okay, so intermediate frequency IF amplifiers, intermediate frequency amplifiers, they will be used in what? Radio circuits. Fine? Yes. So then we have what? RF. RF is what? It is radio frequency amplification, radio frequency signal. If it is given at the input, so then that will be used for what? AM broadcasting, AM, FM, this and all like FM you will be knowing about, isn't it? So the radio channels, it is actually a frequency modulation. This is amplitude modulation. About modulation we will be learning in future classes. Okay, so in future chapters we will be learning about modulation and all. Amplitude modulation, frequency modulation we are learning. So what is that? We will be we will be getting to know in our future classes. Okay, so for amplitude modulation broadcasting in the sense we are giving out the signal. We are spreading the signal in all the directions. We are giving from a sample from a tower. We are giving out throughout. Okay, so that's what is broadcasting. Okay, giving like one sender, multiple users. Okay, so one person is sending multiple things, and means if we send some message to some group, so that is called so you can relate that to what broadcasting. So one person is sending, multiple persons are receiving. Okay, so that we'll call it as what broadcasting. Is that okay? So it is actually used in what? Your wireless communication or satellite communication, we call these terms as well. Okay, so here broadcasting will be using this RF amplifiers, and what is VHF, very high frequency amplifiers, means very high frequency input is given at the input, so they are used in what? FM broadcasting. Okay, so then we have VHF, ultra high frequency amplifiers. If you give ultra high frequency signal at the input, such amplifiers are called ultra high frequency amplifiers, and these ultra high frequency amplifiers are used in your TV communication and your military communications like radar and all. Okay, so military communications will be using them. Okay. So then we have SHF. SHF means what? Super high frequency amplifiers. SHF, super high frequency amplifiers. So they are used in what? Satellite communication. Okay, so they will be used in what? Satellite communication. We will be using all these things in satellite communication. Okay, yes. So after that, we have this operating point. Depending on the operating point. So where your operating point is situated in the output characteristic curve. Okay, so the operating point where in this active region where we are situating the operating point. Depending on that, we have this classification of amplifiers as class A amplifier, class B amplifier, and class C amplifier. Okay, depending on the operating point on the output characteristic graph, we have three classifications of amplifiers: class A amplifier, class B amplifier, and class C amplifiers. Okay, so class A amplifiers are used as what? Voltage amplifiers. Class B and class C amplifiers are used as what? Power amplifiers. Now, depending on the configuration, fifth criteria. Depending on the configuration, different configurations we have, isn't it? Yes, C configuration, CB configuration, and CC configuration. Common emitter configuration, common base configuration, common collector configuration. So depending on configuration, we have three categories of amplifiers, and C configuration is used for what? Audio amplifiers. CB, common base configuration, is used for high frequency amplification purposes. Okay, high frequency amplifications are done in such purposes. We will be using what? Common base configuration. And CC, common collector configuration, is used as what? Impedance matching circuits. So there is a circuit called impedance matching. So impedance is what? Total resistance, isn't it? So when it comes to impedance matching in the sense, so when we have to connect from one circuit to another circuit, there we must see impedance matching. Okay, so impedance matching. So that thing, impedance matching thing is not there for you for right now. Okay, yes. So impedance matching is something wherein to connect one circuit to another circuit. So then we have to see for the impedance or the resistance properly. So you people are aware of, like people are knowing about maximum power transfer, isn't it? Yes, maximum power to transfer, your total resistance of the circuit having equivalent resistance should be equal to the load resistance, isn't it or not? Okay, so that resistance should be equal, then only maximum power will transfer, isn't it? So impedance matching comes wherein we have to see for when we have to connect, when we will be connecting one circuit to the other circuit, and we should match the impedance properly, otherwise maximum signal or maximum power won't be transferred properly. Okay, such circuits are called as what? Impedance matching circuits. Okay, like we will be using the common collector configuration amplifiers for impedance matching purposes. Okay, so that is impedance matching. Okay, so impedance matching means what? We are matching the output resistance of some circuit with the input resistance of the other circuit, so that this output will be given to input of the other circuit properly. Okay, in such things, means these all are things which will be coming into picture when it comes to huge circuits and for communication purpose circuits and all. Okay, so in such applications we will be going for impedance matching circuits and all. Okay, yes. So in that those cases we'll be learning all these things. Okay, they are all like application level things. Okay, yes. So depending on configuration, we have three of the classifications of your amplifiers. So then coming to coupling. Coupling in the sense what connecting one thing to the other thing. That is called coupling. Couplers will be calling it as, isn't it? So we have this plumbing work, the pipelines and all. Couplers will be calling them as, isn't it or not? Okay, larger pipe can be connected to a smaller pipe using a coupler. Isn't it not? Coupling in the sense what? So we are connecting one to one. Okay, so that is part of what one thing's output is connected to another thing's input. So there comes the coupler or coupling. So we are connecting one circuit to the other circuit. So then the thing whatever coupling comes into picture. So RC coupled, transformer coupled and direct coupled. RC coupled in the sense in the coupling circuit, in that connecting circuit, we will be using resistors and capacitors. Resistors and capacitors are used in the coupler circuit or coupling circuit. So they are called as what? RC coupled amplifiers, we call them as. Okay, transformer coupled in the sense in that coupling circuit we will be using transformer as a component for coupling, for connecting. Okay, so they are called as transformer coupled amplifiers. And direct coupled, without using any of the component, you can connect one amplifier output to another amplifier's input. Okay, so such coupling basis we have three of the categories. RC coupled amplifiers are used with what? Multi-stage AF applications. Okay, so multi-stage AF means audio frequency applications. Multi-stage audio frequency applications will be used. Okay, so then RF, these transformer coupled amplifiers are used for what? RF amplifiers. For RF radio frequency amplifiers will be using this transformer coupled, and direct coupled are used for DC amplifiers. Okay, direct coupled amplifiers are used for DC amplifier applications. Okay, yes. Coming to stages. Okay, stages in the sense, if I have one amplifier, if I have this is input, if I have some amplifier, I have input and here I have output. This is input and this is output. Okay, so this is an amplifier. So this is one amplifier stage. So this is called a single stage amplifier. Fine. This is called a single stage amplifier. One stage. So if I have to, this input has been given to, this is a weak signal going into a strong signal. If I want this signal to become still more strong, so then I can connect another amplifier. Now this is what is called two-stage amplifier, or we can call this as multi-stage amplifier. Fine. One amplifier circuit, single stage. If I use two or more than two amplifier stages, so then they are called as multi-stage amplifiers. Is that okay? Yes. So depending on the stages, we have single stage amplifier and multi-stage amplifiers. Okay. So single stage amplifiers in audio amplifiers, and multi-stage amplifiers are used with what? Communication systems. Okay. Yeah. Communication is what? Exchange of information. Isn't so all this mobile communication, wireless communication, satellite communication, all these things, communications purposes will be using multi-stage amplifiers. Okay, so they are much needed. Okay, yes. Coming to bandwidth. Bandwidth is what? Bandwidth is what? Range of frequencies. Okay, so bandwidth will be learning as a next thing. Okay, in this chapter only we will be learning about bandwidth. Bandwidth in the sense for a particular channel, for a particular radio channel, you will be given some frequencies. Some frequency means what? That peak frequency they will be talking about. That means what? There will be a starting frequency, there will be an ending frequency. If I go on a main road will start from this end to the other end. This much width is your main road. Okay, so this from here to here will call the value from this starting value to ending value. So that is called as bandwidth. So this much large is your main road. We will be talking it as yes or no. This means so many feet is our main road. Okay, so likewise, so we have bandwidth means for frequency, starting frequency of that particular band to ending frequency of that particular particular band. So that starting frequency and ending frequency difference between two will give you the bandwidth. How much wide is the frequency band? So that is called bandwidth. Okay, so you learn about bandwidth and all in our future classes. So depending on the bandwidth, so we have wide band amplifiers and narrow band amplifiers. Okay, wide band, narrow band amplifiers which have narrow bandwidth, wide band amplifiers which will have a wide bandwidth. Okay, such amplifiers are wide band amplifiers and narrow band amplifiers. Okay, yes, wide band amplifiers are used for video amplification. And narrow band amplifiers are used for communication systems again. Okay, yes. So in this way, so we have this bandwidth classification for wide band amplifier and narrow band amplifier. Okay, this is all about the classification of amplifiers. Okay, so we have 8 of the criteria and different classifications we have depending on the different categories. Different criteria will make different classifications of amplifiers and their applications we have seen till now. Okay, so this is all about this class. We will continue with further different important things in future classes. Okay, that's all.